All doing really well. This evening, Sunday the 28th of September. It is going extremely fast this month. And yeah, I hope you're all doing really well. Let me know in the chat how you fared this weekend. Let me know what are you working tomorrow? Let me know all that good stuff. It's fair to say I think this weekend's been an absolutely horrific weekend for football in terms of United fans, really. I did watch the Newcastle Arsenal game today. Arsenal did and do what champions do, which is they keep up the pressure. They keep up the pressure when the chips are down. I thought that performance today by Arsenal was one of those championship performance where they look back and they go, maybe the league was won and lost on that game. I've got my Lemsip on the go because I feel utter crap. So tonight's show is going to be probably a shorter show than I normally do. What I'm going to say is I am not a dictator of the chat. I typically lead the shows and then I will read your comments out because I do respect the chat. This is not all about my opinion. This is just about us getting through this, supporting each other through this terrible time. So tonight's show is a little bit of a different show tonight, on the basis that we sort of spitball tonight. We kind of move the show around depending on what you guys want to talk about. So that is kind of what we do in these evening shows. These are some of the best shows that we do, really. So it just means you get into your chat. Excuse me, it's a horrific cold. And the only thing I do ask is obviously you be respectful in the chat. Be respectful to each other. I absolutely value your opinions, and as I say, it doesn't really mean that my opinion is right at all. Big up to Scott, legend of this community, legend of this chat. Sadia says, oi. I hope you're doing extremely well this evening. I don't know if you mean hi or whether you mean oi, but all are welcome here. So one of the things I spoke about this afternoon was basically, look, we needed to talk about it. We needed to talk about who potentially is going to be the next coach. I didn't particularly want to talk about it because I'm hammering in, and I'll again, if I need to explain that, I will. It's becoming increasingly difficult to be hammering. I'm just going to say that from the outset of this. I think I'm not necessarily hammering in. I am manager in, but I fully accept. Look, right, there are reports coming out left, right, and centre now about hammering, about who would Man United. Yeah, go on, Leo. You might want to finish that off, mate. Again, don't forget to like, favourite, and subscribe. I've got my Lemsip here because I feel utter crap, but the show must continue. Doesn't really matter. But Leo, legend as well of the chat, so please get into the chat this evening. So I'll tell you where I'm at. Legend Rob, hi JB, and all legend. So I'll tell you where I'm at right now, and please feel free to get into the chat and tell me where you're at. Tell me what do you think is going to happen if we sack the manager. Now I think I should probably go into this first before I give you my opinion on it as well. And as I say, this is my opinion. It is not the be all and the end all. I want your opinions on this too. So Ineos have come out this evening and are back in the manager. Now that's going to disappoint many of you guys who are staunch now hammering Altus, particularly after the weekend. I do not blame you. I absolutely, on this channel isn't about I'm hammering in and I'm blind to it. Right? I'm not hammering in because I'm stupid. Where am I at? Never watched United look, Leo, you will, mate. You will watch him. But as a serious fan, if Southgate was appointed instead of Amorim, do you think he would have done any worse? Right. And again, tonight I'm not going to shy away from the questions. I think that's a very, very good thing to ask. The way that Amorim is now, do I think that Southgate would do better? Yes, I do. Do I think that Southgate long term would do better? No. Wayne says Arsenal were lucky. Wayne, I think Arsenal. I thought Arsenal were lucky not to get I thought Newcastle were unlucky not to get a penalty. Was it a penalty? Maybe. But all I'm going to say about Arsenal is that they are winning games, right? They're winning, right? So, they are doing what Liverpool did. But Arsenal, they're doing what champions do, right? Let me come back to this. But as a serious fan says, why does Amorim not rate Kobe? I don't think Tuchel has him in his plans. At this rate, Hendo goes on that plane to the US ahead of Manu. It is scary times. It is scary times. Xavi to United. I don't know. Fabrizio, exactly. Ineos back in the manager, but for how long? If we keep getting bad results, they have to act soon. But as a serious fan, if Collier hadn't gone out on loan, I think a midfield of Manu and Collier and Bruno ahead of them would have done better than Casemiro or Ugarte. I don't know about Collier. I watched every pre-season game. Collier didn't stand out for me, so God, I got this awful cold. But again, though, we don't know, do we? And look, we can talk about this tonight as well. So, Lee Wood says, I'm deeply disappointed with the result on Saturday after travelling to Brentford and seeing how sloppy Willian goes. Lee Wood, big up. Always a special mention, Lee, to the match-going fans, particularly the away fans, because you guys are the lifeblood of this side. You guys spend your money. You guys watch this team, absolutely just, go home and away. You spend your money. You spend more money than me. Disgraceful. Lee, the fact that, I'd love to get your opinion, Lee, on these players. Do you think it's the players not playing for the fans? Do you think it's a mixture of both? Lee, I'd love to know your opinion on the players and the coach from your perspective as you see them live. I'd love to know, Lee, your opinion on it. Nicholas Jackson says, Saibu, I don't know what that is. Listen, if Amorim goes, it's Xavi, Zidane, or Oli. No one else. Bluey games. It's not, mate. It's not. It's not. It is going to be Gareth Southgate. And that is the sad thing. And we can talk about Xavi and we'll get into this whole thing as well. Get that yam off your face. Nicholas, my friend, you are welcome here, my friend. But any disrespect and you're going to be banned. So don't be an idiot. Otherwise, you will be banned. It is not worth it. If you don't want to be here, feel free to go. But Palhinha was available on loan, and even Burnley managed to sign Luis from Champions League club Benfica. Leeds got Stack, and United got Noam, Casemiro, and Ugarte both on floors. I agree with you completely. And when we're looking at this now, and these are really, really good points. Will everyone sign my petition, please, and give Amorim another 3 years, Winston? Don't depress me, my friend. Legend of the chat, though. And we'll come back to that, Bart. 20 watching, 3 likes, exactly. Give us a big thumbs up. Ten Hag was the last coach to win a trophy. I agree. Badger says, you and me need to sit down, crack a bevy, and chat about it. Badger, we do, my friend. We absolutely do. We do need a beer. We need to sit down, have a cold one, and just talk about this club, because it is ridiculous, my friend. For the 3-4-3 system to click, you need 2 athletic midfielders who are technically sound, and United barely have one in Manu. Wayne Ferris says, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen next. How is this going to pan out? Wayne, we don't know, my friend. All I do know at this point in time is Ineos are back in the manager. And I will come on to that. Let me just get for these chats, and then I'll get onto that. Luke Chapman, I've got new Northampton Town shirt with Ethan Wheatley, number 19. Training kit shirt for my birthday today. Luke Chapman, happy birthday. Big up to you, my friend. I don't know how old you are today, Luke, but happy birthday, my friend. Ahmad was regressed, and Amarin too. I agree with you. I agree. Emmy, let's go, bro. JB7 means shut your mouth, but in extremely disrespectful way. Look, at the end of the day, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, as I tell my children. What do you think about Louis van Gaal's United? Turgid, sloppy, boring, just not great, just not good. Nicholas says, Gaychester United fanboy. Nicholas, do you know what's really funny? Is that you're obviously a sad little man, sad man who wants to troll a channel. Look, mate, there's more to life. Do you know what? Even if I was that way inclined, what does it matter? Who cares? Who cares? And Nicholas, no one cares about you. So there you go. Heard reports to that Amorim will be there until November to save on big financial package to sack him because he would have had a year. Yeah, I agree, Emmy. I agree. I've heard that today. Just reinstate Football Manager. You can already guess what I'm gonna do. I love it. Just to play devil's advocate, if Amorim is handing his P45, then you start from square one again. I agree, we do, but it is. I just don't know. I just don't know. Nicholas Jackson, I thought your club was the best club on earth. What happened? Nobody wants your nobody wants your birthday wishes. Oh, Nicholas is jealous. I think you're jealous, mate. I think you want to be I think, Nicholas, you want to be here. Instead, you're probably locked up in your mum's basement, or probably in an attic somewhere, probably doing that. Look, mate, I can't help it if you're sad, my friend. You know, it's look, Toxic Sunday, Nicholas. You've got. I'm guessing that you don't work either. Southgate will be cheaper to get on board because he's not under contract. So Jim has made contact. I agree, Rob. Pure mate's been a while. How you and actually ended up beating us, Chelsea? Yeah, I don't know, mate. No, I can tell you why we beat you is because you went down to 10 men. And that's the only reason why. It's the only reason why. Leewood, I think it's a bit of both. Cunha and Burma try lots as players there for internationals, and there is still something not right, and it can't carry on. I agree with you. Nicholas Jackson, look who's talking. Oh. Look, everybody, Nicholas Jackson, give him crap. He's bugging me now. Yeah, just give him crap because he's just he's an absolute wally. Look who's talking, Nicholas. I reckon he talks like this. Oh, look who's talking. My name's Nicholas. Do you want to be my friend? George has said hi. Glasner 3-4-3 worked because Wharton and Hughes work in tandem, be able to pass. Look, that is exactly it, right, Bart? You've hit the nail on the head. Amorim wanted 2 midfielders, right? So when we're talking about midfielders with Amorim's system, he doesn't want a CM and a defensive midfielder. He wants 2, as Bart says. He wants 2 athletic. He wants 2 not super defensive, but people who can get up and down the pitch. So if you imagine the wingers, but in the centre of the park, that's what he wants. He wants them up and down, supporting each other, and we don't have that. Take that yam off your face, Nicholas. Take Nicholas. Drop your address, and I'm gonna. Nobody, I mean, disrespects my exactly. Emmy, you've got my back, my friend. We can't really afford too many seasons out of Europe. Exactly, it will cost us a lot of money and miss out on players. Ollie is a good interim coach. I still feel that he was doing a very good job until we got Ronnie thrust on him instead of CDM and a centre back in Maguire. Interesting, but also I've been analysing that Glasner plays a 3-4-2 and out of possession and has 4 men in the midfield. Nicholas, don't be so ridiculous. Look, he's ridiculous. So Danny James, apparently Zidane wants the job too. I've read, look, there are so many coaches, and apparently nobody wants to join the club. Apparently. But as a serious fan, both Arteta and Klopp needed multiple seasons to get it right, and the mess they sorted out wasn't as bad as what Amorim is dealing with. Although, unlike Ollie, he doesn't have to deal with Woodward. Just ignore Nicholas Scott here. He's a rage baiter. His club is being compared to United, so let's move on from him. Exactly. I just find him funny at this point. I'd love to damn, but I heard he only wants the French job and can't speak English. Maybe there'll be a no from him. Baku Rubin says, hello, my friend. Do you think Dillit and Yora can function as a two-hand? Yes, I do. I do, my friend. I think as a pairing, I think they'd be brilliant. I think they'd be absolutely fantastic. So I totally rate those two completely. On Football Manager, I'm signing Gallagher and Belieber and changing 4-3-3. 14k clue. Amazing. I love it. 33 in-house and 3 outs. Come on, guys. Who do you want to get the job? So, Danny James. Before, I'm not going to be I'm not a flip-flop, right? I've maintained I am Amorim in, right? But I'm not blind to the fact he's probably going to be sacked. So who would I get in? I would go for Eddie Howe, but we can't get Eddie Howe. Okay. Amorim, Ineos are going to be cheap. Let's just all remember this. It's not about what I want. It's not about what you guys want. It's about what we can actually get. And Ineos are going to go cheap. So Xavi, he's free. It's going to be Southgate. If I had to choose 2 coaches, I would go for I'd go for Enrique out of PSG, and I'd go for Eddie Howe, but we're not going to get them. So but I personally have Yoro and Heaven as the starting centre backs, Son Wharton, and have him and Man Utd play for the club. It's up and down season so far. Nicholas is still yakking on about something. Nicholas is clearly inside the closet. He's doing that. Wait for this. Xavi couldn't do the Barca job and build a team for 4-3-3. How's he going to handle this mess? Could be sacked in. Andrew, I agree. I agree. It says, hi, you're called Nicholas Jackson and he's not even at your club. I love it. Oh, yeah. Emery as well. I think Emery is second favourite. I really do. Glasner would be an interesting option. He's a builder of good teams. He did well at Wolfsburg. He did Frankfurt and now Palace. He's a winner. Jay Hughes is Haaland. Look, we all know Haaland's a beast. We all know this. Look, I'm never going to shy away from the fact that City, as I predicted, they had a bad start to the season, but City always come good. I predicted it. I've predicted it. How is a roller a choice to replace Amorim? He is a choice, I know, but he is a choice. Nicholas, you're as good as trying to Chelsea up football. I love it. Is a serious fan here. Blooming Tiger. What do you think about the rumours already beginning to circulate about who could potentially replace Amorim? Former England boss Southgate. It's going to be Southgate, fellas and girls. Crystal Palace coach Glasner are 3 of the star names linked with the role. Yes, yeah, they are. Leeds born Haaland is a beast, and the only one that can stop him is Keane. So, I love it. So, let's get on to this. Right, so let's just do it. So, what I said today, I pray for Southgate, Andrew. Oh, come on, my friend. So, Amorim is being backed. Now, what we spoke about today is 145 off wins from Arsenal and Brentford, Sunderland and Atletico. Well done, my friend. Jay, you're a better gambler than me, my friend. Actually, I pray if you keep Rúben, but Southgate is a solid choice. Oh, I don't think he is. Who would you have in your side, Kane or Haaland? If I knew, right, so for example, if I was Arsenal, I'd have Haaland. If I was United, I'd have Kane because we need somebody who works hard. I love it. But do you know what's really funny, Nicholas? I'm bored now, mate. And when I get bored, you go. Simple as that. So where are we? So one of my options or one of my thoughts today was if we get hammered by Liverpool, probably will. It's game over. So somebody just made a good point. I think Amorim doesn't get sacked before he's been here a year. 1st of November, I think it is. So Amorim is not getting sacked before that date. Okay. Now, he's been backed. Now, one of the hypotheses that I had is basically, look, there is a potential here that Amorim doesn't get sacked at all because Ineos can't afford it. He's Ineos's man. So Ineos, just think about this, right? Think about this. Right. I don't think he gets sacked, but I don't think he does. Sack if you get beat. No, mate, I don't think he does. Well, okay. Now that I've heard what's come out today, I don't think he gets sacked, mate. I think they're backing him. So one of the theories that I've got is this: is that they can't afford to sack him. Amorim once out. It's quite clear. These players do not like him. He doesn't like the players. He's Ineos's guy. They can't sack another manager in 11 months. They can't do it, mate. They absolutely cannot do it. They will eventually because they have to, right? But I've got this funny feeling that it's going to end up like Nice. But they can't afford to sack him. It is a situation whereby if they sack him, it's Southgate. So they're backing him. They are backing him. I think they're backing him. I think many of you are right. I think that they basically go to Sunderland. Is this a soccer channel? Well done. Thank you, Scott. He could end up walking out. Now, Wayne, I don't think he will. My friend. I think he would have walked after the Grimsby game. I think that so he should do. he's waiting around to be paid off. The team he put out is sabotage. Look, Amorim, for what anybody thinks about him, he's a clever guy. He's not stupid. He's a very, very intelligent man, and he's doing this on purpose. He doesn't want to be here. He's trying to expose this team for what it is. You know, who leaves Maguire as the last man? He knows this. So it is sabotage. So I think we're in a situation right now where Amorim doesn't want to be here. He wants to walk, but he can't because he wants to get paid off. The players don't particularly want him. The players are not very good. The players can't play the system. They're not the right players for the system. And Ineos can't admit they're wrong. So Ineos are being stubborn as well because they don't want to sack another manager because they're going to get absolutely destroyed on it. So it's a situation. And also, if Amorim goes, Wilcox has to go. Omar has to go. These guys have to go. They have presided over this shit show. So this is the problem, is that they've backed themselves into a corner. And as I think many of you have said, and I think Andrew said this as well over the last stream, is this: if we go to a 4-3-3, we don't have wingers, we don't have players to go back to that now. So Ineos, Amorim have now backed us into a corner. We most certainly can sack another manager, and we will. Sunderland turn us over next weekend. Look, And I'll tell you where I am on Amorim now, because my view has shifted on Amorim in, Amorim out, and I'll tell you where I am on that as well. Jay Hughes, let's go battered Madrid. They did, Jay. I saw that. Absolutely smashed them to pieces. So Gallagher would be good for United. I agree. Maguire, De Ligt have some really good attitudes, but lack the recovery pace. Euro, mate. Euro's well quick. Euro's very, very quick. De Ligt is deceivingly quick, but what makes De Ligt very good is his positional sense. So for me, they're good. Cherki, Marmoush, El Nouri will come back after international break. Yes, they will. Andrew says Gallagher would be a great signing. I've heard a lot of the fans. I know, mate, it is ridiculous. He'd be a great signing. Would the new manager want to take a look at Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony? Anthony's gone. so Anthony's been sold. He's not coming back. I should imagine so. Sancho, no, I think the club don't want him. I think that's a different story. Rashford could be the one. Rashford could be the one that comes back into this. Chelsea, love red cards. Do you think the system has working, or is it the players and keen on him? That's why they play it. Look, these players have sacked many managers. Now, yes, these are different players, but the toxicity that runs through the club and continues to run in this club, they down tools. It is a mentality thing that gets bred into this team. And yes, Fernandes is the epitome. When your captain takes a penalty like that on purpose, I don't care what anybody says, and he's been absolutely awful. He's getting played out of position. But the one thing I will always say about these players, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you don't want to play in a position. You play it, right? You give everything you can, and they're not, because they don't want to play in the position. Bruno Fernandes doesn't want to play as a number 8. Oh no, he doesn't want to play that position, so he's going to chuck his hands in the air. Mate, you're getting paid 300k, but you'll fucking play what I tell you to play. Like this, I know you're one of the best number 10s, but you also the captain. Do a turn for the team. You're going in a year. Like just stop thinking about yourself. Think about this team. And that's exactly, it is IQ completely. But Amorim doesn't get off with it either. Barry Morgan, Mochi has left Villa, so useless. He's got another job I don't know about. He's the perfect director of football. That's where we start. Let him scout a manager and give Rúben till Christmas. Look, I want to give Rúben, and I will come on to that as well. I will come on to that. What do you think to Newcastle not getting the pen for handball? It's a bit of a tenuous handball decision. I mean, look, he did handball, but apparently he got his foot to it first, so he did the tackle and then it bounced onto his hand. Look, you could give it, you could not give it. I think it's a bit of a weak one, but you could argue it. I do think that. I think United need to stop trying to think they can compete. Agree with you. Being judged in the past compared to Fergie too often. Andrew, look, Andrew, he always comes in here with some really intelligent stuff, and agree with you. Jay, who wants a red card? Chelsea, no to the problem. Roll Sports back again. How you doing, my man? I've got a bit of a cold. I'm going to cut the show latest, sort of earliest tonight, just because I feel like utter crap. Xavi want to carry on heavyweight. Let's see. Shivram says, I'm done with Amorim. We are weak and dilapidated as a team. Cunha and Mbeumo form have dropped, but Bruno, Delo, Shaw, Bienda, Maguire, Case, Ugarte needs to leave. I agree with you. Jay says Sheshko actually scored. I agree. JB, you got a point. Ineos will be embarrassed sacking Amorim, and they can't afford to sack him, but they make him to a point where they have no choice but to sack him. State of affairs. I agree, Rob. I agree. He's not one of the best number 10s. You know better than this. JB is stat padded. Look. Agree with you. I've always said, look, when I say Bruno is one of the best number 10s, what I mean by that, he's a stat padder. As a stat padder, number 10, Bruno has been awful. Bruno has been shit, right? He's a stat padder. he loves the stats. Bruno is not one of the best number 10s in the league. There will be fans who will tell you that Bruno is one of the best in that position. Bollocks, is he? He's been absolutely shit. He's disappeared. When he played a number 10 last season, he disappeared. He disappears in big games. He's petulant. Look, he is a stat padder. And if you go back over the videos that I've done, I've called him out many, many times. You play for the club, not the money. Wayne, exactly. I think you should stick with Amorim. 42 years old and you still haven't learned from your mistakes. Don't get it, mate. Don't get it. Don't get it. And he's back as well. Nicholas, look, it's really easy, mate. Look, remove, done. City will show you United how to beat Brentford. Hey from Yemen. Hello, my friend. Red Devils went in Burma as a new penalty taker. I agree. Yeah, be all eyes on Ineos. Amorim is drowning. I agree that he is. Saeed, United fan. The stupid videos. Look, I don't really like talking about other people who do this stuff, right? He's been doing it longer than me. But the funny thing that cracks me up, right, on here is that the United stand get a lot of grief, right? They do, right? But all of these Saeed and like whoever else, that channel made them, right? What we do on here, we are independent. We've never been on that channel. We're not affiliated. We've never been given a leg up. This is why this chat and this community is one of the best, because we don't shout, scream. Yes, sometimes I do get a bit annoyed, but we don't need to do that on here. We don't need to. And I know exactly who he is. I don't agree. It's all for clicks, right? It's all about who can click the most, right? I don't do that because I don't need to do that. You guys are intelligent. I think you guys probably respect that. We're not like that on here. I think it's just ridiculousness for people to stand there and scream. Nicholas Jackson, mate, you're just going to get removed every time, my friend. Well, sports Amorim boys with free up, and that means cue the capitulation. Exactly. Bruno has a wife and kids while you have a boyfriend. Nicholas Jackson, you clearly don't watch the channel, because if you did, then you'd know. And you'd absolutely know. Put them on Tesco wages. I agree. Need one of the mods to start deleting his chats. Yeah, he's an idiot. How Bruno can be a good midfielder when he keeps playing him out of field. And I want Bruno to give the PK to Cunha. He hasn't scored 6 games in a row. Did your boyfriend give you that ring? It's really easy, mate. Really easy. Here you go, look. Really easy. Done and dusted. Easy peasy. So, where am I with Amorim? Right, I'll tell you where I'm at with him now. Okay, so, in theory, I am Amorim in, right? Because I don't want another manager sacked. But something has to change. And what I've seen is Amorim has lost the dressing room, right? I respect the manager playing his principles, right? But when you're sabotaging this club with the baffling choices, I can forgive lots and lots of different things, right? And you know me, Amorim in after the Grimsby game, Amorim in after whatever it is, right? Look, Jay, Amorim does have a clue, right? Amorim's a very, very, very smart, astute man. He doesn't want to be here anymore. And that is the problem. If you read the reports, Amorim now is a lost figure, right? He does the training because he doesn't trust these players. These players don't like him, and he knows what these players are, right? But he has no choice to play some of these players, right? I agree. He doesn't need to play Luke Shaw. Look, he doesn't need to play Luke Shaw, does he? He doesn't need to play a two-man pivot when he doesn't have, he's not changing the tactics. He's not, and what I mean by that is he's not adapting to the opponent. YB says the players we keep blaming leave United and shine elsewhere, but all these coaches we keep making excuses get sacked, and we're even worse in their next jobs. Jose, Oli, and Ten Hag. That's a good point that I can't argue. Well, I can, but United after Southgate, he will be crap. Every manager that goes to United forward fails is crazy. So, is Amorim the right guy? No, he's not. He's not the right guy. Look, for me now, it's not about Amorim in or Amorim out. All right, Amorim's going to sack himself. Look, unless, well, if Amorim in the next game drops Fernandes, I don't want to see him anywhere near this team anymore. I don't want to see him in this team. I'm done with that little prick. I'm done with him. Now you can love Fernandes, you can whatever. That stat padding, low mentality, waster of a captain can fuck off. I'm done with him. I'm done supporting him. He should have gone in the summer. My videos are there. I want him gone. If Amorim wants to survive, then he will change that midfield pivot to a 3. He will make changes to survive. Okay. What I've said is that if you're going to look, you've got to pander to these players slightly. I don't like it. I don't want to pander to these prats. I do not want to pander to these players. But we know these players. All right. If you can get to the summer, just pretend to be their mates. Just pretend. Go, yeah, you can play, fine. Play them in their position. They all need their bellies tickled. Fernandes needs a little pat on the head to tell him how amazing he is, to tell him that his stats are amazing. Luke Shaw needs his little leg rub. So, Luke Shaw, mate, I know you've been out for 2 years, but you're still a good player, Luke. Maguire, yes, Maguire, you are fast. You're really quick. These players need their egos massaged. They need that a night. Just do it. And get to the summer and fuck them all off. Like, just get to the summer. But Amorim is so stubborn, that he cannot see that, and he refuses to do what's best for the fans, what's best for the club. Then he's got to go. Like, I'm not Amorim out. Look, if he goes, that's another manager we've sacked. Ineos are not going to sack themselves, are they? Wilcox will need to be sacked. And the sad thing here is that something needs to change. Are we going to change these players? No. Will these players get away with it again? Yes, they will. Amorim is playing people out of position. And why is he doing it? I get maybe he's doing it because he wants to get sacked. But if he is, then he's got to go. Like, all I'm going to say is, if it's true that Amorim is playing these players to get sacked, fuck off, mate. You are not wanted at this club. I will support you if you do the right things. I want this manager to succeed, but I'm not blind. You guys have said it many times. He does need to change to a midfield 3. He does need to do something. He cannot keep this up, because he's going to get sacked. And the problem now is we're going to lose so many points. Ineos won't. I don't think Ineos are going to sack him until November. I think it is a sad, pathetic, money-grabbing opportunity. And this is what we have become. We're an absolute joke. And this is why they are. He's been backed. I think he wants to go. Rob says, if Ineos pulled a plug to avoid Southgate, would you take Ollie just as a caretaker? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would take Carrick, Ollie. I'd take anybody else other than Southgate. Southgate will destroy this club. Southgate is all about himself. Southgate only cares about him. He's negative. I think he's awful. Better late than never. Welcome, Shane, legend of this chat. So that is where we are. Look, who knows? I want a reaction from this club. and we're not going to get it. Look, if you're going to sack the manager, just fucking sack the manager. Like, I'm not part of, I absolutely cannot defend Amorim and the way that he's stubborn. I don't like that. There is stubbornness when it's correct, but when you are directly impacting the team with the baffling decisions that you make, then it is time to go. So I'm not Amorim now, but I can see it. I can see it. So managers, let's talk about that again. So Xavi, apparently, this is according to Fabrizio Romano, who is the GOAT, and he doesn't bring things out just to say, look, Jay, we get it. Look, Jay, you're a City fan. I get it. I get it, mate. But we need a coach. But what is really funny, Jay, is that you are pontificating about how no coach is good, for us, when City have cheated. Like, we all know City were going absolutely fucking nowhere. And then a bunch of old people come into your club, pumped you full of cash. You've got no real fans. Like, your stadium is half empty. You've got no real fans. Nobody really cares about the club. 115 over your head. Look, what I'm saying is, look, enjoy the success now, because Jay, when you fall back down to earth, you're not going to want this, right? And I get it. Banter is absolutely cool, and it's fine here, mate. But all I'm going to say to you is just remember, it's going to be your turn, and don't ever think, look, for 20 years, I would never have thought that we would be down here. Just be careful, Jay, because it will happen to you. Don't think it won't, because it will. And just remember what it was like before. Jay, you probably don't, but just remember what it was like before when you went down to League One. And the only reason you're back is because you had some really, really good luck. So all I'm saying is, look, just remember that football and this club, and yes, there are more important things in life, but some people, this is basically their life. So just put a pin in it, because one day not the same will happen, but you will go through bad times as well. Show me the waistcoat. Shane says, if Southgate becomes the manager, we'll be begging for 3-4-2 and after a week. 100%, 100%. Wayne says, how long has he got to his contract? So he's got till next season, and then he's got a year. So if he gets to November 1st, then that's a year, and then they basically just have to pay him a year. So, that is the thing. Has Amorim lost Rick? Yes, he has. Amorim has lost these players, my friend. Here we go. Yeah, but Jay is true. But Jay is true. You can't give it and not take it back. Like, I'm not having a pop at you, but you can't dish it out and not take it back. You cheated. It's been proven. It's just all the Premier League have to do is you've actually cheated because you've broken the Premier League rules. The only thing that's happening now is that you're trying to get out of it, but you've cheated. It's a fact, mate. It is an absolute fact. It's a fact that you were bought with oil cash. It's a fact that you had money pumped into your club. You were League One going nowhere at all. These are facts, my friend. I'm not having a pop at you, but these are facts. If you're coming on here and you're trying to point things out to us on here, and then you're going to have to take it back. You look at Liverpool. They've done it the right way. It pains me, but they've done it the right way, respectfully, the correct way. City were playing FIFA. Look, Jay, if you can't handle that, mate, then I feel really, really badly for you. First president of the United States says, "Shut it." Oh, nice. I like it, my friend. What I love are you pussy trolls, right? Absolute wimps, right? I do hold back quite a bit on here, but you guys are absolute just pussies. I mean, you so know you are. It's just really easy to. And what I love is that you try to gay bash people. So what? Even if I was, who cares? All right? Who cares? Who cares? Jay, who's your look, Jay, mate? I'm not, mate. I am. Look, Jay, it's not salty, right? That's really easy to say, right? But it's not about saltiness. It is about facts, and you can't look, Jay. You can't handle it, right? It's a fact. All the Premier League knows. This is why nobody cares about the treble. No one cares about your treble. No one talks about it because they know it's bollocks. Like literally nobody cares. And I'm not having a pop. I kind of am. But if you're going to come at me and you're going to come at the channel and the club with stuff, I'm going to come back at you, mate. You can't take it because it's true. Like, that is the thing. It's not salty. These are facts. This is not stuff I've plucked out of my arse. You were going nowhere. You were League One. You were literally done. It's fact, mate. It is fact. It's absolute fact. Hood says Newcastle v Arsenal was a treat to watch. It was. I don't see the passion and desire, mate. Exactly. Agreed. I thought that was a fantastic game. Jay, have 150 charges for corruption. There are 19 other clubs salivating at the idea of you being bounced back into the Northern Conference. Exactly. Pep is Manchester City. He's the special one who's created City. Exactly. What is wrong with it? What is wrong with the gay bashing tonight? It is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Rob says, who do you think it would be best practice as a caretaker comes in first and then carefully select a permanent, or would you want a permanent from day one? Look, Rob, it is a difficult one, my friend. I'm going to say this: until the Glazers are removed, until the debt is removed, because what you got to think about is this, right? Any coach that comes in here is Xavi, Zidane, Glasner. They're going to want their own players. How do they get that? And that is my point here, is that it doesn't matter who comes in. This is what is going to be Southgate, because what they want is somebody to work with his bag of shit. And I agree with you, Rob. I would probably want a coaching, like a first choice coach. What is the, if we're going to get in, look, Ollie will not get a tune out of these players. There's nobody in world football that will get a tune out of these players now. So Amorim might as well stay until the end of the season, because who else is going to come in? Like, it's a sad time. No manager will come in full time before Anfield. I agree. That's why City have won 2 occasions against FA and the Premier League. Look, Jay, the only reason why City will win is because they've got the best lawyers. They've cheated, right? It is a bit like when you go to court, people get away with things because it's not what you did, it's what you can prove in court, right? I've no doubt City will probably be able to get off it because they've got the best lawyers and the Premier League are incompetent. You have cheated, Jay. And you look, if you can sleep at night, Jay, with the fact that you were bought with oil money, you cheated, you artificially inseminated your own team with cash. Nothing you have is real, it's bought, right? Just deal with it. Just deal with it, move on. Can't see a manager change, says Jim, sorting the club issues out. The problem is at the top, through the boardroom and trickling down. Can't see United being up there for a long time. Jim, agree with you completely, my friend. 100% agree with you. I think you're spot on, my friend. Cheating blue pukes. United losing next week to the Black Cats. Look, Jay, City are not playing the best, are they? Jay, mate, I don't know, Jay. I don't know what is wrong with you tonight, my friend. I don't know if you've had a bad day, whether you're pissed off. Are we going to lose next week? Probably. Mate, you're probably talking, like, you're not talking facts because it hasn't happened yet. But if I had a bet, I'd probably bet on us to lose next week. As a Liverpool fan, I agree. If you don't win the league, I don't mind City winning because who really cares? The 76 people who show up for the parade. Exactly. United will change until the Glazers leave. Unfortunately, United Road, I agree with you. How much is United worth on the stock market? About 50p, I think. No, I think the shares were about, I don't know, mate. I'll have to look it up. Are they still worth about 20 something, 24? Big Sam is available. I know United Road, I agree, but we should be winning certain games. I agree. Klopp would get a tune out of him. The man took Liverpool side to a similar position, and look what he left. But it could and would never happen. Look, Andrew, Klopp should never come to this club. And I not because I think Klopp is a fantastic coach, but I wouldn't want Klopp here, and Klopp wouldn't do that. I won't mention Southgate again because I don't want you and Scott to put me in timeout. Look, Rob, if Southgate comes in, we're going to have to deal with it, right? It is as simple as that. Desmond McClinton says Everton FC. Welcome, Desmond. I'd rather keep Amorim than get Klopp. Never happening. He's at Liverpool end of. Exactly. I'll about 15. So, last part of the show before I go, because I am absolutely feeling like crap. Xavi. So Xavi apparently wants this job. It's a no from me. I don't see what Xavi's going to do. I don't. I really don't. I just don't see what Xavi will do. I think Xavi will come in and fail. I think that I'll make a bet here and now that if we get Xavi, we will be saying the same thing next season. We will be back here again next season, and he would have failed. I mean, you can't even get Barcelona, the club that he knows through and through, the club that he played for many, many years, an absolute legend of this club, Xavi or Southgate. Xavi, 100%. But Shane, is Xavi the man for the job? Oof. But look, I don't think he is. Look, if and when Amorim gets sacked, I think he will. I don't know. Is Xavi the right man? I don't know. I don't think he is. Xavi playing the ticky-tacky 4-3-3 with a 38-year-old Casemiro Ugarte. He can't pass 5 yards. Wingers who aren't 10s and won't cross to a striker. That's the target. I'm here for it. I know, Andrew, it is going to be painful. It will be absolutely painful. I think those of you who Xavi would murder Bruno in his sleep for the amount of times he loses the ball. Exactly. Xavi, the problem is as well, right? Let's not forget this. These players will absolutely. Conte for me could be the one, but these players would hate Conte. These players would absolutely hate it. These players don't like hard work. So it's look. I say that it's a no from me. It's going to be Southgate, but anything is better than this crap. So Xavi possibly. So guys, yeah, I'm going to go. Going to cut the show a little bit earlier tonight because I've got work in the morning. I feel like crap, and I am going to get myself off to bed. Wayne says Alonso, if he was free, exceptional manager. Good points, guys. Absolutely good points. So if anything does break, I will be back. Of course, I will be back. I doubt that anything is going to happen. But yeah, guys, good show tonight. A couple of weirdos in the chat, obsessed by what people like, which is really, really weird. I don't get it. But yeah, guys, have a fantastic. Thank you for being here. Pochettino, I don't know about him, my friend. Maybe, possibly lucky. Possibly Pochettino is open. Look, I'm sure he is, mate. I'm sure that he is. So, guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Genuinely, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to the channel. It means so much to me. You make the channel what it is. This is one of the best communities, one of the best channels, I think, not because of me, because of you guys in the chat. You're all legends. You make this channel amazing, and I absolutely love talking about this stuff with you. Your bed is the best thing in the house. It is, and I'm off to bed. going to have another lemon sip and go to sleep. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll probably be here tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. Hopefully something interesting happens. I hope not, but we'll see where we are tomorrow. So on that note, guys, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Take care and good night.